This is Light Talk, a light-hearted discussion on issues close to your body, mind, and spirit. Light Talk is brought to you by Bliss Oasis Ministries, a metaphysical arm of Bliss Oasis Africa, a counseling and life coaching company. You are invited to participate by sending comments or questions, writing them on the comments or description section below. Please subscribe and share. And now to the discussion, brought to you by Wanjiru Muthe and Patrick Ngugi. Welcome.
Hello, viewers, and welcome again to Light Talk. And this is another episode of this podcast, which we take you through various topics on metaphysical stuff that make us tick as far as our mind, bodies, and spirit are concerned. And today, before much ado, my name is Patrick Ngugi, and I have my co-hosts, Wanjiru Muthe, karibu.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. How have you been since the last time you were here?
I have been fine, thank you. I've just been enjoying the sun.
Oh yeah, the sun is back. It's been quite cold, but now the sun has come back, and hopefully very soon we are going to get the rains, not the lanes.
Correct. Yes. I've been enjoying the sun since a few weeks ago because we have had a very long period of cold season.
Yeah.
But I've been okay. We're back again yet with another episode of the forgotten laws. Today will be, I think Mr. Ngugi will tell us what law we shall be discussing today. But before then, I would like to invite you viewers to subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel and share, comment, let us talk to each other so that we know that we are not alone. We are not just me and Mr. Ngugi here. We'd like to hear your views as well. What do you think, Mr. Ngugi?
Yeah, it's true. Otherwise, the whole world, we think the whole world is out there doing other stuff and not listening to us. But we know at least from our following, we know at least some people are listening. So we've been, it's warm again. And after a long time, the sun apparently had gone for a walk. We don't know why it had gone, but it's back and we really enjoy it. And this series of podcasts have been talking about the 11 forgotten laws, which were brought to us or reminded we were reminded of about them by Bob Proctor. There are 11 of them, and we have already done the law of thinking. Then we came to the law of supply. Last episode, we did law of attraction, which is very popular. Many people know about it, and we shed a light on the same. But today we are dwelling on the fourth law, which is the law of receiving. And it's very interesting that such things like receiving or giving or attracting or supplying, very rarely do we know that there are laws behind them. Like now, the law of thinking, before we came online with Wanjiru, we were discussing it and it sounded very something out there. So what do you think about law of receiving, Wanjiru? You know, there's a law about receiving.
There is a whole law about receiving. I think most people don't know that receiving has got some instructions attached to it. I think that sometimes people think that they just need to receive. That if they pray, it's like they're entitled to receiving just because they have asked. Which is going to be very contradicting because last time I know I said when we were talking about the law of supply, I think the law of supply and the law of attraction, I talked about praying and it shall be given to you. And then now today I'm saying, no, it doesn't just come. There is now a certain precondition that you have to meet for you to receive. It's very interesting.
Because when I give you something and you're not opening your arms or hands to receive, obviously you'll not receive. So there are things that go by receiving as they go with attraction. But for the benefit of our viewers, let us share what we have written about, as we said, is the fourth law. And
Yes.
that is what it says. Please, Wanjiro, can you read for us?
Okay, so the law of receiving states that the universe is generous, but it dances to your tune and follows your commands, whether you are conscious of it or not. You must be ready to receive by giving what you feel you lack. In that way, you become the source of what you want, so that the infinite source can use you as a channel to enrich itself by giving you so that you can share. Allow it to come by being generous and a cheerful giver. If you don't give, you'll not have, and whatever little that you have will be taken away. Create space for what you want to receive. Very interesting there.
Yeah, because I remember here this particular line which says, it says, if just a second, it says here, this one here. It says, if you don't give, if you don't give, you will not have, or you will not receive. That's what it means. And whatever little you have will be taken away. That's quite interesting. Why should they take away? Anyway, why would you not imagine you don't have anything, and then whatever little you may have is taken away? You remember the 5 talents in the Bible? The people
I
were
was
given
actually going
talents.
to mention that parable.
The person who was given 5 talents,
yes,
multiply them. Yeah.
Yes.
And he was given them to keep in order to get more. The guy who had, I think, 3 talents, multiply them, and they were given, although he returned to the boss, they were given to him to multiply further. The one who had 1 talent, alisema huyo mdosi ni mjanja, anataka kutupokonya, so he hid it. And then he gave, so alipokonywa, and he was told, whatever little, those who have will be given more. And those who don't have, even the little that they have will be taken away from them. What does it mean? It means the law of receiving is like, it's reciprocal, it's a chain, it's a channel. You receive and you give, you receive and you give. And in order to give, you have to open your hand, open whatever you are holding and let it go. So that wherever it goes, it comes back multiplied. But most of the time, most of us, for example, who complain we don't have, it's because maybe we are not giving, we are not sharing what we have, or we are asking the wrong way. Yeah. And there's also the sense of gratitude, showing gratitude for the little you have, because when you do that, you send a positive vibration, positive emotion of what you have, and more is given to you. Question, comment?
No, I can only add or reinforce what you have said and say that is very true. If you don't, most of the time we tend to think that giving only comes to those that have a lot. That is what we like to think. And I think one secret, one thing that I really admire about the Islamic religion is that they value giving so much. They believe that if they give out, they receive more. They really like spreading the gospel of give so that it can come more. And I think it has happened. I think I have seen it work practically, that the more they give out, the more they receive. They keep on distributing. So there's a friend of mine, a Muslim friend of mine, keeps saying that every day he must have something to give to someone who does not have.
Yes.
Not actually someone that have. So it's like he'll be searching for someone who does not have something to just give, because he has been trained, or he's been taught for him to receive He has to share what he has with other people, which is very challenging, especially for me. Because in my subconscious mind, I've always believed that you only give what you have. You don't give what you don't have.
Yes, and what you forget, what not you, but generally, what we forget is that you can never lack something to give. There is always something you can give, and here we don't mean money. You can give a smile. You can give a helping hand. You can meet somebody who is down, give them encouragement. And when you do that, that encouragement they will get, it will reflect back on you and you will feel something, you'll feel uplifted, meaning you'll also have received something. And whenever there's a giver, there must be a receiver. So there is this notion that in fact, there's a song that says that blessed is the hand that giveth than the hand that receiveth. But then I don't believe so, because suppose there is no hand to receive, does it mean you will not be blessed? So both are important, the person receiving and the person being given.
Giving.
So without a giver, without a receiver, there's no giver. And vice versa, without a giver, the receiver may exist, but he doesn't become a receiver until he's given, until he received or she receives. And then you gave an example of, okay, the Muslims are very good at this. They call it alms, and they're very particular in their religion. They give a lot. But
they do give a lot.
But it also means they have to have a receiver. And the receiver, apart from being members of other community, we also have a lot of poor people, even within the faith, who have to receive anyway, because they have to receive. They have to be there. Because if I give you anything and you have, and I have, and we exchange, those are just gift exchange. Not really like,
yeah. I think we have to give.
They have somebody,
well,
there have to be somebody who needs. There have to be somebody who needs what you need more than you do.
That's the point I had, that sometimes, when we think of giving and receiving, our minds are quickly to rush to the material world. But that is what comes to our mind most of the time. Giving, receiving, in form of money, in form of any other material possession that you're talking of, that you can think of. But when you think of receiving, sometimes we need to receive other things, like, let me call them things,
moral support,
peace, love, support.
Yeah.
There are people who lack that so much. And I find that people who lack such things complain a lot. How do I put this? For example, if let me give an example. If I lack peace, I'll be, or I will be watching around me is violence, is things that are going to lead anger, that is going to cause to lack of peace. Yes. So that means I do not have peace, and I need to receive it first. So how I need to receive it? So how do I receive peace? Like, there is a statement there that said that for you have to give out what you lack.
Yes.
I don't know whether that point has
in fact
joined
it
itself.
says,
So you have to give.
If we have to share the screen again, you have to give what you feel. This one here, sorry. This one here.
Yes, that statement
you must be ready to receive. Yeah. By giving what you feel you lack.
Ready to give. Yes. So if you don't have, for you to receive peace, for example, then you have made me understand that you have to give it, even if it is not present in your state. You have to find a way to give peace when you lack peace. I don't know whether I'm making.
It's true. Yeah, that's true, because as you saw earlier on in the same statement, I had highlighted the word feel. You have to give what you feel you lack. It's a feeling. You don't actually lack it. You don't lack it. It's there. but you feel like
Okay.
you don't have it. So, for example, as I said earlier on, you can never lack anything to give, no matter how poor you are. There's always something you can give. So even when you feel you don't have peace, there must be some minute, if you can quantify peace, there must be something small you can do to give somebody, to share peace. You don't feel like talking nicely to somebody because you feel you're not happy. But take a walk and say just a nice hi to somebody, a nice word to somebody. They will reciprocate, and you start receiving it. And then before you know it, as we said earlier on, one thought lead to another. You find yourself having that peace again. But it's a constant thing. It's not just one-time thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a constant thing.
Yeah, and again.
So I think the challenge here is okay.
Yeah, you're saying something?
Oh yeah, I was saying I think the challenge here is to learn to recognize when you feel like you lack something, so that maybe that can guide you. So can guide you into giving out that which you feel you lack, then you can receive it in large amounts.
Yes. Yeah. And another thing about
but Miss Angugi, you must agree with me that it's a bit a new concept, because the gospel that is out there is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. I'm sure you have heard that statement before. You cannot pour from an empty cup. That you must first fill your cup before you because if you keep on pouring from an empty cup, then it means that you will not have anything to give. And so you must receive your cup so that your cup is full. Then you start distributing. That is the gospel, the common gospel that is out there. So now for us to now hear that we can give even what we do not have or what we feel like we don't have, then it becomes a whole new lesson. I think so.
I think maybe we should be asking ourselves, why is a cup empty? Not only why is it, not only why is it empty, but what makes us think it's empty? You get it?
What?
Yes, and again, there is that saying which I also subscribe to, that the cup must be full before you share, and that is what it actually means. That could be another law, but what it actually means, before you are able to love anybody, you have to love yourself. You have to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. So you have to receive what you don't have,
so that you're able to share. Yes, you have to know yourself. Like the guy who does not have peace, is most of the time the peace is not there because they've not learned how to love themselves, how to give themselves peace. And we know, how do you give yourself peace? By giving others peace. The little peace
so that you receive more peace.
The little piece that you have. And again, why don't they have peace? Maybe they're thinking negatively. They love thinking. They're thinking all bad things. You get it? So think good things and share those good thoughts to others, and then start receiving. You get it?
Okay.
But it's true, your cup must be filled. And again, although I do agree the cup must be filled, but I don't believe it's got to be kwa brim kabisa mpaka imwagike. You can start sharing while it's
for me, I want it to be full and it is overflowing.
You'll wait for a long time before it overflows, because anyway, you are still drinking as it grows.
You know why? Because I have been in a situation where I have shared or I have given until my cup was negative. There was nothing in the cup. And I wasn't receiving. So I don't know what was making me not receive.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not receiving?
Maybe.
Because we do.
Maybe it's because of my thoughts. Maybe my thoughts were negative, and so I blocked the receiving. But I think I have now to challenge myself and learn not to
Yeah.
wait for the cup to be overflowing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to overflow, but it's good to have something. And again, I think the error mistake we do also is that I'm giving in order to get. I'm giving in order. Wacha nipeane ndio nipate. It doesn't work that way, because one thing, and this must be made clear. One thing is that we are always receiving. Otherwise, you will not reach. After you are born, you will not even reach 1 month if you are not receiving. We are always receiving, but we don't have gratitude. We don't acknowledge and know and give grace that I have received. Thank God, and so on and so on. So that's why it says the law of the universe is generous. It's always giving. But how do we receive? We are not practicing that law of receiving. Particularly when we ask, in prayer, we also told that after you have prayed, believe you have already received. How do you act after you start believing you have received? Act as if you already have it. The feeling that you will be having when it's already with you, feel that. That's what will attract. You get it? But after we pray, we keep on murmuring, lakini hiyo kitu itakuja lini? When is it coming? How is it coming? In what form? You know? And then you have a lot of higher expectations, so that when it eventually comes, not the way you expected it to be, unaona ijakuja, you think it can come, but it's already there.
Yeah.
You get it? And when it comes, when it comes in a higher, much higher form than you expected. Then you ask for 10K, but you get 100K, unasema ni miracle. You know, it's not a miracle, it's a universe. You get it? So we pray, but how do we receive? Make way for it. You want a new car, for example, you want your new car. Uko na mahali ya kupark. Do you have a place to park it when it eventually comes? Because you are going to get it eventually. Yeah. And so you have to prepare.
But you shouldn't park for landlord, even don't know so much.
But you have to prepare it anyway. I want something. So suppose it comes today, where am I going to put it? Create space for it.
Okay.
You need new clothes, but your wardrobe is full of old clothes, which you never wear. It doesn't fit you, but they are still there. Get them out. Whatever you do, give them away. Create room so that when you hope for the new clothes, you'll get a place to put them.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is
that's a
very
lot of
interesting.
receiving. That is a lot of receiving, and you can never be poor by giving. You can only be rich. You can only be rich and expect anything. When you start praying and hoping, be ready to receive and expect anything, that or better.
I think one of the reasons that make people not receive is because of the entitlement and the conditions that they attach to receiving.
Yes.
To receiving and to giving. We've already understood that for us to receive, we must give. But in most of the cases, when we are giving, we have an expected return. You get?
Yes.
We're giving conditionally. We're not giving unconditionally. We're giving conditionally. So that if I don't get exactly like that, then I forget that I might have received something else. Because again, what we must remember is that if you give out A, you're not going to receive A. You might receive B. But in your mind, you're waiting for A to come. So B arrived and you don't even know that B came. I don't know whether, let me give now exact
example.
An exact example maybe. You've gone out there, you've given your, say you two people in a relationship, maybe. You're giving out your partner 50,000. Okay? then you're expecting that next time when it is your turn, you have a problem. You're expecting that they should give you 50,000 because this time when they have a problem, so next time you're also expecting that they should give you such kind of support. And then it happens that your partner cannot give you that kind of support. They can only give you maybe mental support, emotional support. We tend to not think that we tend not to receive because what we are expecting is not what we get.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It's a higher expectation or different expectation of what God actually wants for you, what God wants to give you, what universe is prepared for you, is preparing for you. And the mistake that in that example is what we said earlier, giving in order to receive something you already have in your mind, conditional giving, so that you receive that.
Giving.
And suppose you just give, suppose you give without expecting, you'll never lack because there'll always be something to give. But when you give,
there is always be something to
when
receive.
you give, I'm giving this, I get maybe 3 of this. So I give this, but instead of getting this, in order to give another one like this, I get this. Doesn't matter, I've not been blessed or less.
Yes. What will happen is that you will think you're not blessed because you did not get the pen. You're expecting to get the 3 pens, but then you got a book. So in your mind will be telling you you have not received. You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
But we must remember, although we must remember, that we are always receiving. We are always receiving countless things that we cannot even calculate. Last time I asked you, last time your entitlement again. Last time I asked you how much do you pay for the air you breathe. You're receiving that. We're always receiving it until the day when the guy decides it's your turn to go. We're always receiving that. We are blessed. We are blessed with so many things that surround us that we can use, but we don't appreciate that. We only look for what I need. Yeah, and it's good to look for what you need, but there's a way you can get it. There's a way you can if, for example, the example I gave about this, I mean, I'm giving this because I can get 2 of this. How? I mean, there must be the reason. There must be a force behind that gave me this instead. There must be a reason. And maybe my way, maybe my direction, maybe my development is not in giving this. Maybe the universe wants me to start giving or producing this.
Yes.
and give it to to the world. Yeah, you have to really learn. You have to, I mean, the universe always wants to take us in a particular direction. And that comes through intuition of understanding what's happening in your life, what is coming to my life. Because they also say that I wanted an orange, but I got a lemon.
You make a lemonade.
You make lemonade. Maybe that's your direction.
Yes, I think society has a way of conditioning what we want to receive.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that statement again.
The society.
The society has conditioned us such that there is a specific thing we want to receive, and if we do not receive it, then we start thinking that we have not received, or we are not blessed, or we are not getting.
Yes.
You understand? For example, society expects that you should, when you get a car, for example, then you are blessed, you're good, There's nothing wrong with receiving a car, but there are also other things that you've already received that we don't even we don't pay much attention to, and we only think that maybe a car and so many other material things are the things that we should that only indicate our ability to get or our ability to receive. What we need to learn is that we are receiving a lot more than we should actually be receiving.
Yeah. As I said,
We're receiving a lot and in
the universe is
different
generous.
forms.
Yeah,
The universe
it's
very,
generous and
very
it's always
generous.
providing.
We just need to recognize that we are blessed in very different ways. But hakuna shida na gari, please. We all want a very nice car.
Some blessings can also be a curse.
A gari iko tu sawa. Nyumba iko
It
tu
depends on
sawa.
how you take it.
Is okay.
Some blessings can also be a curse. You can get that car and then change your lifestyle and things before you know it. But it really depends on how perception, how we look at it. Because you may believe God may decide not to give you a particular thing because of the way you're going to be when you get it. It can be a curse. It can also be a blessing.
Okay. So yeah, some blessings can be a curse actually, because like kiburi inaweza kuja. Kiburi
is pride.
What is kiburi in English?
The kiburi. Pride, yes.
Yes, maybe that's why. I don't know. I think we need to check ourselves. We need to be self-aware. I think for this episode, we've been talking a lot about being conscious and being self-aware. That is the only way you can be sure of what is happening around you, starting from thinking, supply, attraction, and now receiving.
Talking about a blessing can be a curse. I was either watching another YouTube video where these children, as they were growing up, they never liked it when their parents had money. They always pray that they remain poor, because each time their parents got money, they were always fighting. The father was always drunk. He was always abusing them. When he had money, akiwa hana pesa, he was a good father, amekaa kwa nyumba, So they're always happy when their dad didn't have money. So you see, it depends also on, as we say, blessing can be a curse also. But then it depends on how you receive. How do you operate the law of receiving? And so we have come to the end of another episode. It's funny how fast they go.
I know.
We get lost into the discussion. But I like to ask our viewers to comment, ask us questions, maybe, or even ask whether they can participate in future. We'd like to have people joining in and participating. And it's been great having this discussion about the law of receiving. As we've been having a discussion about other laws, we've done of law of thinking, supply, attraction. Today was law of receiving, and we'll continue until we do all 11 of them. Amaje Wanjiro?
Yes, we are here to tell them. We are here to remind them.
And also to learn.
So we are at law number 4, and we shall be doing next law number 5. Stay tuned so that you can find out which law is next.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So remember, you need to know how to receive. You need to know how to think. You need to know how supply works and how to attract things by applying these laws. And just watch our episodes and you will know how to do this. So have a nice time, everyone. And Mogani, until we meet next time. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.